Welcome back to my basement. I'm Anders Colsefni. Let's get started off here with a question from Tyler Sharp. Actually, a couple of them. Growing up in Des Moines during 93 to 95 when, metal was barely played on the radio in Iowa and so forth, and we were pretty much waved in the backwash of the grunge period, how did we motivate ourselves to be different from what was on the radio? It was all just what came natural. We weren't writing anything to be on the radio. If we were, that happened after Corey got in the band. But when we started, we weren't intending to be on the radio. We were just intending to do what we could with who we had and whatever we felt like we wanted to do at the moment. So we were just kind of pretty much just rushing around doing whatever, coming up with whatever we would normally come up with. And being that we had some of the best musicians around that were in the band, it made it a hell of a lot easier to come up with some creative stuff, because the ones that are more motivated to keep doing everything no matter what around them is causing them grief are the ones that are the best innovators when it comes to music, and so far that I've seen. So and then also from past interviews with guys in Slipknot, is Iowa really that depressing a place to live in? Not really. It just, when you're not doing what you really want to do, it's going to be depressing no matter where you're at. You could live at Disney World, and if you're the one picking cigarette butts off up outside the smoker poles, you're probably the one who's depressed there. So it's not any more depressing than any place else, really. It's a good place to raise a family. There's not a whole lot of bad stuff going on. We're right in the center of the country, so it's easy to, Minneapolis, really close, Kansas City, and then, Chicago and Omaha. We've got some big cities all the way around us, so it's not a bad place to live. It's not a great drive to drive through Iowa, but it's a lot better than driving east-west through Nebraska. So, anyway, moving right along. And Tyler also asked, what brand of electric tape did I use during the MFKR day? Whatever I could find. I didn't really keep track of a particular brand or anything. It was, usually some form of 3M, I'm sure. But this one comes from Manchester, New Hampshire, Guru Bushido. I'm sure that's not his real name. Have I ever thought about redoing a soundtrack to a movie, kind of like Pink Floyd did with Wizard of Oz, Dark Side of the Moon, and all that? And what movie would I like to do it with? Oh, that's a tough one, because soundtracks to me are better when they are cinematic, orchestrated pieces, not so much just a song that's played in the background. I would want to do a soundtrack for The Howling, and maybe Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I think those two would be fun. Did you like that idea? Yeah. My wife says hi. So, moving right along, we got Grindcore is God sending me a message. Grindcore is God. In the MFKR song Do Nothing / Bitch Slap is a minute 36 onwards played by Slipknot or a sample from another band. This is actually Gabriel. No, everything in there is completely done by Slipknot. Everybody played their own instruments. All the parts there's no samples. It's just all musicians. So thank you for that question, Gabriel. Moving right along here. Johnny Hartman asks, how long did it take to record MFKR? Oh, I don't know actual amount of time spent in the studio, but quite a while, months and months of going in there after work, and whenever we could get in there to record something or mix something. There was a lot of times going in and out, and there were a lot of times when just one guy would go in and do some stuff, and then a couple other guys would go in the next day. So it was really broken up, but it was scattered over better part of a year, I think, by the time it was done. Also, craziest fan moment I've ever had. Craziest fan. See, when you're playing shows with a lot of drunk people around, crazy fan stuff, it kind of gets diluted a little bit. So, I mean, you're always seeing drunk people doing crazy stuff at shows. That's just all there is to it. Craziest fan moment? I'll have to get back to you on that one. Plenty of people jumping up on stage and jumping off stage. You know, I'm going to say this, okay? Tim Sirianni, when I was in Painface, we were playing a show, and right when we started The New Sun, right before I said Born at the beginning, he's in the slam pit, and he comes flying forward, and the stage is that tall where we were playing. It's just a little thing. And I'm coming forward as he's coming towards me, and his head connected with right here, and this thing swelled up like I got beat by Mike Tyson really quickly, and I just closed up, and I couldn't see anything. This was right about this time of year, actually. It was like the day before the Super Bowl, and it was unbelievable. American Head Charge, before they got signed, they were headlining that show at this little country bar in Ankeny, Iowa. That's pretty wild. That was my craziest fan moment. It wasn't something really crazy that he did, but it was a crazy effect that happened. He backed up and saw he headbutted me and was just, sorry, dude. I go, no, go ahead, beat me up all you want. I'm used to it. And so that's going to go out to Tim Sirianni, who's also my #1 fan. Or he just knows all of our music and knows all of our songs. Dude's awesome. And he's also in a band called Absolute Power here in Des Moines, so I'm going to kind of pimp Tim's band. Then also, John Hartman asked me where's Waldo. He'll be back here somewhere, I'm pretty sure. And with that, I'm going to say have a great evening and rest of your week and so forth. Keep sending me questions, and like I said before, keep sending me, if you got any Painface questions for an individual member of Painface, please send them to me at anderscolsefni@gmail.com. And with that being said, I am going to go find out what exactly is going on in the other room, because something is always going on that's driving me nuts. It's not a cat this time. Maybe it's my wife. Alright guys, have a good week. Anders out.